Okay, in this quick video, I'm going to show you how I mud these tight little corners like this that are really hard to get into. So what I did is I ran my angle tool up as close as it could go. And then I took the knife and I came down here and here, and then I let that dry. So now all I have to do is just get the mud into this tight corner. I'll show you how I do that. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use just a small knife. I believe this is a 3-inch. And then this is the key thing right here. Just a little angled trowel. And I picked this up at a crafting store. I believe it was Michael's, but you can get these online. You can get them in plastic. You can also take a plastic knife and just cut it with a pair of snips, and you can shape it like that, but the metal is way better. And so the mud, I have a thick consistency of mud. It's way easier to do those little delicate spots when the mud's really thick. Try to make it like a clay almost. Okay, so what I'll do first is I'll just use my small regular knife and I'll just try to get the mud in as close as I can to it. It's just really not that much closer. I should have maybe used a 2-inch knife, but this will work just fine. If you're watching these videos trying to see amazing talents, you're probably watching the wrong channel. But I get the job done. Everyone says I do a good job, so because that's all that matters. So I got it as close as I can. So now I'm gonna get this last little bit. So I just grab it all like that and just put it in. And this is why you want to use like a thick mud for this, because you want it to be like a clay. And there's no, like I said, I don't have any special talents here. I'm just trying to get the job done. So you're not going to see perfect mudding. And you know what? I don't actually aim to make it perfect mudding. It's actually really hard to make it perfect with this, in this sort of application. But what I try to make it so that it can be sanded smooth. So the ridges, I don't mind the ridges. What I don't want are any deep indentations or any deep markings that won't sand out. The ridges can sand off, but anything deep can't sand off. So just in a minute here, I'll show you what I do to sand it too, because most sanding sponges, well, no sanding sponges will fit into a space like this. And I've always thought that these kind of spots are important because people look at these kind of spots just to see how you did it. Well, anybody, even people that don't know much about mudding, can recognize that these kind of spots are going to be difficult to mud. So after you're done mudding and you're finished, I would assume that they look at these spots just to see how well you did your job. Okay, so that's that. It's there's a little bit of ridges and bumps, but that'll sand out real nice. And then while I'm up here, just kind of fix up any last little spots just to make it sand nice. Got a little spot there. Let me just do that. Make it easier to sand. I think that's it. Okay, so I'll show you how I sand it now. Okay, so as for sanding it, you can take some regular sandpaper. This is the foam back paper, and you can just cut it into a triangle like that. Okay, well, I'm not actually going to sand it today because it's really just straightforward, but I'm going to show you how I do it. Is I take a piece of sandpaper and I use a pair of scissors or snips and I cut it into the same angle of corner, and then I just use that to sand into the point, and you can come up the other side, or you can use a sanding block and get really close. And then for the absolute final little peak, I use a knife again, and I just scrape it out really sharp and carefully. And but that's all really monotonous work, so I kind of want to keep this into a video that's just a few minutes and not 15 minutes, out of which 10 minutes is just me sanding. So that's how I would do it. Hope you found that helpful, and that's it.